Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We're talking my boy Dejounte Murray, but we're talking constructive criticism. Yes, I said it, criticism of my dog, my favorite Spurs player, Dejounte Murray. What does he have to add to his game for the upcoming season? What do I want to see? And I know you guys are shocked and surprised that I'm criticizing Murray. But like I said before, it's constructive criticism, things I want to see, things I want him to add, things he needs to add to shut the haters up. But I know y'all even still surprised. Y'all more surprised than Peter Parker was when he got his powers. I know. You guys are more surprised by this video than the NBA was by Greg Popovich winning the gold medal with Team USA.
And Greg Popovich leads them to gold here in Tokyo.
Man, y'all get what I'm trying to say. I know you guys are shocked, but like I said, constructive criticism. Things I want to see happen for my boy. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel. Okay, before we start the countdown and the 3 things he needs to improve on, I just want to get the common vernacular out the way. The whole idea, he just needs to be more consistent, man. Murray needs to be more consistent. Listen, if you look at the numbers, Murray was one of the most consistent players on the team last season. He was the consistent player last season, not named DeMar DeRozan. Second leading scorer, first Spur to average 15, 7, and 7. Led the team in rebounding as a point guard for most of the season, my guy, until Pirtle edged him. Shout out to my dog Pirtle for doing that, by the way. Edged him at the end. 15 points per game. That was huge for a Spurs team that shares the ball and has limited minutes. It's not like this guy is playing 40 minutes a game. So let's just cut all that noise that he wasn't consistent. He was definitely consistent, my guy. Woo, saw. Okay, let me calm down a little bit. But nah, all jokes aside, I was just seriously, getting tired of hearing that, because for a Spurs team that shares the basketball, younger players, they're playing like a maximum of 30 minutes per game, basically. Having 15, 7, and 7 and not being a scorer. Murray is not a scorer. He's a defensive first player. That's damn good. That's damn good, guys. So let's cut him a little slack. With that said, though, he does have some things he has to improve on. The first thing I want him to improve on is scoring off the ball. You get what I'm saying? He does become ball dominant when he's coming off the screens, bringing the ball off the court and whatnot. And a lot of times that's necessary for a team like this. But I would like to see him be able to score off the ball. And a lot of that has to do with the corner 3, man. He needs to definitely develop that Bruce Bowen 2003 corner 3 trigger, baby. If he gets that to his game, that would be huge for this team and huge for his career. He averaged 15, basically shooting nothing but 2-pointers. If he can get a couple threes a game in that thing, his shooting percentage and his points per game could easily shoot up to 18, 19 a game if he can hit a couple threes, a couple corner threes, man. Sometimes we have Derek White bring up the ball. Obviously, we might have Forrest bring up the ball every once in a while. He can spot up in that corner. Teams are going to leave him open, and he can knock down that 3. It'll be huge for him, huge for the team. He needs to practice that 3. Now, if he can develop that top of the key 3, which is a harder shot, that would be amazing. But I'm not going to get my hopes up too high. Focus on the corner 3. That's the shortest 3 you can make. Focus on that, and that'll help your game. The second aspect of his game that he needs to improve on, I feel like, is he needs a shot in between getting all the way to the basket and the mid-range jumper that he depends on so heavily. So that teardrop move that, Tony Parker had would be perfect for Murray. Now, I'm not going to be naive and feel like that's something that he can develop overnight. You get what I'm saying? But maybe if he takes a couple more dribbles into the paint and just takes a simple jumper, that would increase his percentages. Now, his percentages within the 3-point line weren't bad, man. He was one of our best mid-range scorers outside of DeMar DeRozan. You know, he comes off the screen, hits that shot, and he's good to go. The only thing about that shot is that it's not going to fall every night. So when it's not falling, what do? Do you continue to take that shot, or do you move in closer? You get what I'm saying? To get the little teardrop closer to the basket and build your confidence. So I feel like that's an aspect of his game he can add that will help him score more. You know, like I said before, people are always ragging on his consistency because they want him to be a 20-point scorer, although he's a defensive first player, guys, which is hilarious. If you really know basketball, you know, it's not a whole lot of 20-plus point scorers out there. Think about it. DeRozan, he's a bona fide scorer. That's what he does. And he only averaged like 21 points per game last season. So come on, you really have to put that in perspective before you start just saying things on social media, which I see all the time. But back to what I'm saying, you know, Murray definitely improved on his ability to get to the basket, his ability to finish, and I want him to continue to do that. He probably needs to get to the free throw line a lot more than he does. You get what I'm saying? And that goes to not relying on mid-range jumpers so much, getting closer to the paint. So you can get fouled, you know, on a teardrop. You get fouled going to the basket more. So I'm kind of merging a couple reasons together in one. You know, you need to get to the free throw line more. You need to get closer to the basket when the jumper's not falling. Don't rely so heavily on the mid-range jumper when it's not falling. You get what I'm saying? His free throw numbers are way lower than I thought they would be. So that's one aspect of his game he can improve on. Okay, and the last aspect of his game he needs to improve on, and I know you guys been waiting on it since the beginning of this video, is his turnovers. Okay, he has the tendency to turn over the ball in bunches. Like he'll have a game or two where he'll have 5 and 6 turnovers, and then he'll go respectively. Now he would go 3 or 4 games without a turnover and then have like another game with 5 turnovers. Okay, now with that said, let's put this turnover problem in perspective. You know, Derek White is obviously probably the best ball handler on the team. He averaged 1.3 turnovers a game for the last few seasons actually. And now Murray, you know, although I do agree White does do better with the ball, handling the ball, average 1.7. Okay, so the totals I think for, you know, last season for Murray was like 117 turnovers, which is a lot. And then for Derek White previously, not last season because he was hurt, but previously, you know, where he played 60 plus games, he had around like 89, 90 turnovers. So don't get me wrong, I feel like that narrative is somewhat overrated. Yes, Murray turns the ball over more, I get that, but he also averages way more assists. You get what I'm saying? His assist totals are higher than Derek White's. You get what I'm saying? And people say because Popovich puts the ball in his hands, yada yada yada, and that has a lot to do with it, but I'm not trying to hear that. You get what I'm saying? Murray is a better passer than people give him credit for. It's just that sometimes he makes knucklehead plays. So I hope he's training on his IQ. And the only way you can do that is to watch tape, gain experience, you know, possibly be trained by a better point guard, take pointers from Greg Popovich, those type of things. And he's slowly but surely improving on his decision making during the game. But we have to realize that he's not Steve Nash. You get what I'm saying? He's not CP3. He's not a pass first point guard. He's a defensive point guard that has improved his scoring and is a stat stuffer. You get what I'm saying? Like Nick Batum was back in the day. You see what I'm saying? Like he's going to get you your rebounds, your assists, your points. He's going to be, you know, a near triple double type player before it's all said and done. You get what I'm saying? Heck, he had 15, 7, and 7 as a second or third option last season. This season, we don't even know who the first option is going to be. So, you know, the potential for him to take that leap, and I'm not saying he's going to average a triple double, but to take that leap and give us an 18, you see what I'm saying, 8 and 8, is very strong, but he has to make better decisions with the basketball. So hell, Popovich won't pull him and he can stay on the floor. And maybe he can make a few extra minutes versus the 30 minutes per game he's getting now. Maybe he push that to 35, and then his stats will, reflect that. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Make sure you like the video and share and subscribe if you haven't already. The YouTube algorithm is giving me the business, so make sure you like the video. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the continued support, and let me know in the comment section how you feel about this Murray situation. And it could be negative, you get what I'm saying? Positive and negative comments, as long as they're not malicious, are welcome. You get what I'm saying? Let's have a friendly debate in the comment section. All right, guys, thanks for kicking it with me, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.